right, video stopped there for some reason. So the seat, yoga mat, and you can see that sucker is really trim. The other thing I did was I trimmed off, took out the rubber bumps, and I trimmed off all of the rest tabs that were on the seat. And this seat frame, the plastic part here, sits as low as possible to the bike. So super low. The other thing I did was there's a piece here that holds up the rear subframe, and this piece fits in here to there. I shaved the top about maybe 3/16 of an inch, which brings the tail down a little bit. Really hard to tell, but it is lower. So for me, I like it. It helps me. A lot of people would be like, you'll get used to it. Just tough it out and learn your balance, and you won't need to worry about, getting your foot down. Well, I'm not so sure in real slow technical stuff where you need to dab and you can't, that it doesn't help. Okay, yeah, you can get used to it, but anyways, moving on. Steg pegs. Love them or hate them. I love them. I started with it, and I've taken them off a couple times to see. And no, steg pegs, because it helps support my upper body. When you lean back into them, it takes pressure off your hands. And at my age, I'm turning 58 here in 2 months. At my age, that's a lot. A lot of hand pressure. I often have to stop when I'm riding, rest my hands. And that's the other reason why I got the Clake. Yeah, this is modified here. The original piece failed. But this Clake clutch is unbelievable. It's short stroke. You can pull it with your pinky. And it's wonderful. Everything I do, I train myself finally to always have finger on the clutch, finger on the front brake, and I never stray from that. It's my riding position, and I would not, I feel funny now if I'm not in that position. Even when climbing hills, I'm going to keep my finger on that front brake, because you never know when you need it. All of a sudden you turn, you're going downhill unexpectedly, you pivot it up, and boom, all of a sudden you need brake, and you're reaching for it and you're too late. So it's helped me. In the beginning it wasn't super intuitive. I had to force myself to stay in that position, and now it's normal. Feels really good. So yeah, P-Tech guard on there. I made that little screen cover to keep the all the trash from the trail packing into the front of the pipe. But it is easy to pull that P-Tech off. It's actually 2 bolts in the front, 1 in the back. Drops right off, and you can clean everything out. So it doesn't really have to have that screen. Just one of my little mods. So anyways, I think that's pretty much it for a bike setup for me. I like it low. This is a 300 X Trainer, obviously, and it's a 2022. And yeah, I did have that corrosion problem and top half motor damage. Beta covered it, and now I'm putting hours on, and that's all that counts. Riding. All right. Pop off that. Feels good. Pop off those logs. Get wheel high in the front. Not necessary, but it does feel, it's fun. And this is just a little bit of my warm-up loop here inside these woods pretty close to my house. I can be on this in no time. Popping around. And we're probably gonna go hit new stuff. So I made a couple new uphills. Always unexpected that a little bit of an uphill, a little bit of a downhill on a log makes it more difficult, not to cross it, but to kind of clean it and keep the front wheel up and land either even or front wheel high. And I guess it just has to do with being downhill. You're just going to need to stay on the throttle maybe a little more and lean back a little more to keep it either even when you land or front wheel high. So sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, but it's always a little bit more difficult. Pivot turns are super useful. A lot of these turns that I'm doing, it's more practice. They don't need to be done in those spots, but I try to incorporate it into my ride whenever I can to keep things, keep it real. To some degree, practice the techniques. And this is where I pulled my hammy last time. Doing a big 180 pivot turn here. And went all the way up, started to come down sideways and stretched my back leg out and bingo. But I'm still riding. Hell with that. I need a ride. Gotta keep time on the bike. It's good for the heart. And the mind. So I guess one of the reasons I like talking so damn much when I'm riding is because I don't know, I see people riding and I think I could offer something to the older people, 50s and more, that are trying to get back. And that's like me, 57. I hadn't been on a bike in 40 years, and on a whim I buy this bike, and I actually was looking at just trail riding to begin with, and then the more I looked into it, more I got kind of hooked on enduro, cross-training enduro, Barry Morris, Traction E-Rag, watching their content made me want to do shit like that, and I would have thought, what the hell would I want to be putting around slow in the woods for? And tight shit where you're just gonna be bumping into stuff, it looks dumb. That looks dumb. Well, I'm telling you what, until you've done it and tried it, it is a whole lot of fun. As a matter of fact, trail riding to me is boring as hell. I'm not saying that every once in a while a flowy, you know, hot trail section, you know, might be fun.